Hi there, I'm Will Wright and welcome back to another PlotTech short. Today I'm just going to walk you through our web portal and mobile app and give you a view of our brand new SAP Assessor workflow that's now available for you to use on your sites to make sure that everything you're completing for Part L can be automatically reviewed in real time by your nominated SAP Assessor. So all I'm going to do quickly is just show you our SAP companies, which is the brand new tab on the left-hand side that you'll see within the web portal. This is just creating your SAP Assessor. So I'm just going to call it SAP Company ABC Limited, create a company. I'm going to add an assessor. I'm just going to add me for argument's sake. So William Wright, will@PlotSnag.com, create the assessor. And that assessor now is all done, set up, and now available for me to use on my sites. So what you can do now, you can either add that SAP Assessor to a current site. So many of you may have sites already set up, and to do that, you just click into your site, you choose this little edit functionality on the top left-hand side, and then you toggle enable SAP Assessor review, which is where you get your SAP company options and then the assessors that are associated. So let's have a look at that for a brand new site. So let's create a new site. I'm just going to call it SAP ABC site. Location, just say London. Registration date today. Inspector NHPC. Enable SAP Assessor review. I'm just going to choose any company, but I've got my company that's added there. I can then choose my assessor, create the site, and then straight away I just come back as normal into my plot view. And from here, I can just create plots as normal with my Part L regime that I require for my site managers to go out on site. So everything that you'll have known from PlotBREL previously all largely remains the same. But let's show you how the SAP workflow works. So I'm going to jump into something I prepared a bit earlier. So SAP Worth, my site, and I've got plot 1A within here. Jump into the plot, everything is again still very much the same. I've got my details, I've got my users who I want to see this site and this plot and who I don't want to see it. I can see quickly the progress, so the progress has been made fairly well on this particular plot, and I can jump into the reports. Now this becomes the more important view, and I've squeezed it in just so we can view the mobile app on the right hand side, but this becomes the full table of everything that I've added, what section, what subsection, what's in review, what's been rejected. I come straight into here and I can view everything. So if I myself as the admin want to double check what photos have been taken, what the geotag is, I can do that within here and I can see the status. So everything that's in review, I know that's sitting as a to-do list for my SAP Assessor, and that SAP Assessor will receive a daily 10 a.m. email with everything that's in review for your particular company, for your particular site, and broken down. And I'll show you that in a minute. So that becomes their simple to-do list to check everything that's in front of them and either provide an acceptance or a reject on the images that have been provided. If for whatever reason that SAP Assessor has not received the email or they've missed it within their inbox, you can always, as an admin, trigger a send, which will then push everything that SAP Assessor needs to do within that to-do list as a real-time automated email. So what does that look like when the SAP Assessor receives it? Well, I'm just going to jump into my inbox on the left-hand side, and I'm just going to click the link, which will come into view. And here's my to-do list. So this is everything at SAP Worth for Quality Homes, my company. I've got my plot details, I've got my section details, I've got my subsection details, and everything in here will always be in review. So that informs the SAP Assessor of what they need to do. So I can jump into here and let's say I want to view the images. The images might not correlate exactly to what we need right now, but just as an example. And again, in that SAP Assessor, I can view up to the 6 images depending on how many have been provided by that assessor, by the site manager at that particular time. And I can jump in here and say, right, I'm happy to approve that one. For approvals, I don't need to add a comment. And I can submit that, and that then goes from my to-do list, so you can see that automatically go through. Just so we can see on the other side, so I'm looking at this subsection 2A, which is currently in review. If I reload the page, then I can see that that's now been completed by the assessor, and I can see the breakdown of the route to get there. So I can see actually there was a previous rejection on this particular image, but I can now can see that that's been approved. So if I jump into, let's see how it looks when it gets declined. and we will need to pull the view up from the mobile app. So let's say I say view an image, and for whatever reason, image 1, which is what's available here, so the SAP Assessor can indicate exactly which image is wrong, but I'm going to say this is incorrect image, see guidance. And then submit. So that's now been declined. It's gone from the SAP Assessor's to-do list. And what will happen in the web port, in the mobile app, I'll get a notification that comes through. So if I wasn't in the app at the time, I get this notification. So I can see that section 2B has been rejected, and that will come through as a push notification to the user. But also when I'm in my mobile app, I now see on the top right-hand side, the bell has now got a number 1, which indicates that something has happened, something's been rejected. And I can see within my big list of notifications, in bold there, 2B, structural penetrating elements. If I click this 2B, I get that indication of what is wrong in terms of the image. That's very clearly marked to me which image is wrong. I then have a breakdown of the assessor logs, which is down here. So this is an incorrect image, see the guidance. So as that site manager at that time, I can double check, okay, actually what needs to be taken there, direction of photograph and a breakdown of the details. So if I am in need, therefore, to take a new picture, I can then do so within that pretty easily. So that's the view with, I've shown you the site setup, I've shown you what it looks like for the SAP Assessor, I've shown you the to-do list that they get, and I've shown you the view here that you can see yourselves. If there is ever a need for a manual override, you do have the ability to approve it yourself. Let's say you've had an email conversation or a phone conversation, something needs to be approved and overridden on your side, you have the ability to admin approve. So you can have that check, and we very clearly indicate when it's been admin approved versus when it's been completed by a SAP Assessor. So thank you very much for watching this video. Obviously, please contact myself or Lee Zepparetti for any further information, or check out our other YouTube videos for any other insight of how to use the PlotBREL app, and hopefully hear from you soon. Thank you very much.